Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we have a little bit of a conglomeration of in episode 3 different things we're talking about today. The first one, alternate build for the Elbing. Second one, the auction details. And the third and final thing, Arpeggio Blue Steel returning to the shop, going over the commanders, talking about where they're useful and if you should pick any of them up. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you stay tuned. So first things first, Elbing alternate build. We are running Sheer, the kind of base commander for the Germans. The idea being is he has a lot of skills that could potentially buff the deficiencies of the Elbing. Sadly, though, I don't find it to be that effective. I think basically these are all very basic traits that don't do anything massive. There's no like thing that really buffs you up, that really boosts up your power. They're all kind of like lower level skills, it feels like. And I just think it doesn't do enough for Elbing to really justify putting him on there. That's kind of the long and the short of it, and that's where we will leave it. Next thing, let's move on to the auction, because we finally know what's going to be up for sale. Starting bids, i.e. the minimum amount of money that Wargaming will take for things, and how many of each thing there will be. So there's going to be 4 lots this time for the auction. The first one, and the only one I would even consider bidding on, but I really wouldn't even consider bidding on it, is the 4 accommodations with a starting bid of 5 million credits. And it's 4 universal accommodations. There will be 3,000 of them available. For those of you who want that, I want you to keep in mind you should not bid more than maybe 10 million on this, because every week you can buy 3 commanders, which if you have all of the commanders, will produce accommodations. Of course, they'll be for specific commanders, but they'll produce 3 accommodations every week for 10 million credits. So having a starting bid of 5 million credits, I feel like that's about where I would have started my bid at. Like, that's about what I would have paid for 4. So, also, fun fact, this is the only auction this time around that will be for credits. Next up, we have the Golden Potato Flag, a brand new flag in honor of all who are potate. It's the starting bid on it is going to be 500 doubloons, and there will be 3,500 lots. Guys, it's a flag. We saw this. They saw the success of the flag last time. Up to you, really, on this one. You know, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money, but it's 500. It's starting at 500 doubloons. Seems a little high. Next up, Alice Thompson, i.e. the Commander, guys, the auctioneer lady, as a guy's starting bid. God, 2,000 doubloons. I think you can tell by my reaction, I will not be bidding on this because there's way better things to spend your money on. There'll be 5,000 of her available at 2,000 as the minimum bid. And then finally, the highlight of the auction, the reason to maybe participate, but not really, because we know it's coming for GXP later, the Elbing. There'll be 1,000 of them available, so that's interesting. I'm interested to see how often I see an Elbing now that we know that there will only be like 1,000 of them out in the wild. And the starting bid on it will be 20,000 doubloons. So Wargaming's not going to let you walk out of the auction with a deal, right? Like, personally, the idea of an auction is like, yeah, you get to set the best price and like you might walk out of there with a deal. No, 20 a minimum bid of 20,000 doubloons. Personally, my plan was if they were going if they're going no reserve, if you know what I mean, on this, I was gonna put in 1,000 doubloons and see if that won it. Because once again, as we know, Elbing is coming for global XP. There is not a big reason to go out and spend the money. We don't know when it's coming for global XP. Of course, I will now be consistently paranoid, and will just be keeping about 1 million GXP in the bank for Elbing, because I really enjoy Elbing. It's a ton of fun. It's not 20,000 doubloons fun, if you know what I mean. Okay, cool. So that's the auction. As you can probably tell, I probably won't be participating in the auction at all. There's nothing that really catches my eye, if you know what I mean. So do with that information as you may. You're probably adults. I don't know. This isn't a rated M game. You may be a child. If you're an adult, you have your own money. You can make responsible financial decisions, I hope, and you do so. My responsible financial decision will be not participating in this auction. Anyways, so we've said our piece there. Let's now go ahead and talk about Arpeggio Blue Steel. Of course, this update, they are going back and kind of allowing you to purchase from previous campaigns or previous promotional events. This week we get Arpeggio Blue Steel back. You can purchase the Atago for 750,000 global XP. There are the crates. We can go ahead and take a look at what is exactly in the crates. So if you decide to purchase the crates, there's a 20% chance of 7 days of premium account time, 20% chance of 20,000 global XP, 20% chance of 7 promotion orders, 6.7% chance of 15 promotion orders, 5.8% chance of 1 commendation, 5% chance for ARP to Cal, 5% chance for Haruna, 3% chance for Haruna, 3% chance for Kirishima, 3% chance for Takao, 3% chance for Iona, 3% chance for Gunzo Shiha, and then a 2.5% chance for both the ships Kirishima and Haruna, and a 2.5% chance to receive an insignia. And that's what's in the crate. Honestly, I would probably avoid the crates. You can kind of gamble with them if you want. The real highlight of this event was the commanders. The commanders, I think every single one of them is useful in some way. There's none that I would outright avoid. Haruna is one that boosts your secondary battery. If you're a German, if you like playing the German battleships to their full secondary prowess, she is incredible. Just because of how much she can boost the secondary range and the dispersion of the main batteries. As you can see, I have never even taken her out as a commander. I don't even have inspirations on her. I only use her as an inspiration for my battleships. Then we have Kirishima. Kirishima is my Japanese commander. She's the one who I go to for my Japanese battleships. I like her skill more than I like the tech tree one. Basically what it does is allows you to fall off radar quicker after firing, where if you're playing with concealment mod, this could help you drop spot just that little bit sooner. So I think she's fantastic. Her unique skill is sky control. I don't even use it. It just boosts basically your AA performance. Next we have Takao. She was the first of the super bonus agility commanders. Her base trait is going to help with rudder shift time, and it's going to boost your AA. I don't really use her much. I like using Clara Teslau more personally, as far as my choice on as my choice for boosting rudder shift time, because I like her base trait of providing the turret traverse speed a little bit better than boosting AA. She is useful if you are running the Japanese cruisers. I think she's probably the best one that's available right now, just because there isn't the ability to purchase Azurle and Atago at the moment. I think Azurle and Atago is the one who I run on all of my Japanese boats, but Takao does represent a nice option. Next, we have Gunzo Shiha. I use him on pretty much all of my of my Japanese destroyers, just because of his traits. Basically, he makes your torpedoes fire so much quicker, and I am not the most accurate with torpedoes, so I find having more torpedoes is more better. So his base trait, Hold My Gear, boosts torpedo launcher survivability, reduces the repair time, and reduces the reload. And then his unique skill is Torpedo Bundle. It's going to decrease torpedo launcher reload by up to 16% at the cost of 10% damage, which I think is a decent trade-off. I think that's a fine trade. And if you want someone who can pump out torpedoes, he's the one to go. The final one is Iona. I use her as my Japanese aircraft carrier commander. She's going to reduce restoration time, which is super useful on just all of the aircraft carriers out there. So I think that's super nice to have. And then she's kind of just your bog standard aircraft carrier commander. But yeah, guys, that's the Arpeggio Blue Steel. Like I said, I think all of them are great. I think the ones I find most useful are Kirishima and Gunzo, and then I think Haruna, Takao, and then followed by Iona. But once again, it's 100% based on your playstyle. If you play a certain kind of ship often, we went over how each of them are useful. I do recommend maybe picking one up. It could be useful to you. But yeah, guys, that's what we have today as video. Like I said, a bit of a catch-all kind of video covering a couple of things. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.